regardless of which side you're on. If you don't see it, that's okay. Listen. And if you do see it, that's okay. Listen. The fact is, of reality, is that this is something that has occurred. Simple as that. And rather than show concern for your fellow man, why are you seeing these things? Oh, you're just deluded. It's a hoax. They're all crazy. No, there's no concern. You're demons. You're preaching a different crap. No, nothing like that. They don't look at the scientific fact that this phenomenon has taken place, and everybody's trying to find out why, especially the ones that think, well, we remember it different, but this is the way it is now. What's going on? And everybody else is the larger number, thinks everything is normal. And we're all just misremembering. And if that's the case, then why are we all just misremembering? I don't care if it's your logos or your advertising banners or, Febreze with 2 E's. Never existed. It's Febreze. Right? And there's thousands of different things you can look up. How can one know even if they believe a lie? That's the ironic thing here. If I believe a lie, knowing what I believe and what I experience, I'll give an account. Just like you. And if you're wrong about something, if you believe a lie, if you're harboring hatred, a lot of these attacks have come against us by people. One had the experience of the Mandela effect and almost lost their marriage over it. The husband was going to leave, take the kids, and have them locked up. People all over, different things. And now people, oh no, I don't want to have anything to do with photohelix anymore. Oh, praise how great photohelix was one of the first to help expose the Bible changes even, and take all of that ridicule and all that hatred because of things that I actually witnessed and experienced. Maybe it's just me. I wanted to know. You put it out there and find out hundreds of thousands of other people, old-timers that know their word by heart, man. People that can literally sit down and scripturally quote it to you. Blind men. Because they can quote it. It's written in their hearts. And they know those words. And they swear on their salvation that it's a lying sign or a lying wonder. A great sign, a lying wonder. But it's changed to those individuals. Where it said, forgive us our trespasses, now it says, forgive us our debts. And where it said, forgive us our debts in Luke, it now says, forgive us our sins. And then, as we forgive our debtors. Strange. Most all the old-timers remember the teachings in Sunday school about the wineskins and how the Spirit works. What a teaching. Doesn't work with bottles so much. Now you gotta get a new Bible for whatever reasons. People seeing the things like the Statue of Liberty. A lot of people coming forward now remember going to the Statue of Liberty in their youth and going up in the arm or or in the torch. And now all of a sudden it's not there. Some people remember it being on Ellis Island, but it's on Liberty Island. So why? Why are so many people having it? Is this the greatest grand illusion that you've ever seen? Of course it is. Of course, this is what the scripture says. A lot of people, because they realize perhaps that the grand illusion has come, the question is which side of that is the deluded. That's really what it starts to boil down to. So those who can see, be wise, gentle as doves, but be wise, because we're using technology that belongs to that system that is wrapping you up through algorithm after algorithm after algorithm. As an AI continues to tap into this dark matter realm, that molecular realm, the quantum realm, the spirit realm, the other dimension, as they call it in science. And I always thought that the old ones, like in the new one now, it says, in the beginning God created the heavens and the earth. But it doesn't say that in the King James Version. It just says, in the beginning God created the heaven and the earth. There's a lot of things going on in our world that people can't explain. This is all true. And whether you're on a side that you think you can see things changing, or whether you're on the side that thinks everybody's lost their minds and you don't see nothing, wherever you're at, it is important and imperative not that you listen to all of us YouTubers about our experiences. If you're having experiences and we're sharing the same experiences, well, then there's a purpose for that. It is better to try and come together and understand why, as a population, what has occurred in our society across the earth, that so many people have a different recollection and yet all the same. And it's the idea, everybody's talking about being in a different time, because now they're seeing things in their histories re-altered. Like 4 people in the JFK assassination, or 6 people. Oh, it's always been 6. And yet you have professionals who studied it all their lives coming forth saying, I made a film on it, it was always 4. And now in their film it shows 6. They're just mind-boggled. But I'm telling you, regardless of what side of the fence you're on, the wheat and the tares are growing together now. And you're in one or the other group. You have to decide which one that is. You see? Because it will be between you and God.
So, I guess I'll go ahead and do this video. It's going to be on the Mandela effect, or lack of Mandela effect, or quantum theory effect, or whatever the fuck everybody wants to pretty much call this today. I don't know. That one right there, how he's all, oh shit, I was wrong. I mean, him being such a non-believer in the Mandela effect, and how he's tried to debunk, and again, you can't debunk the Mandela effect. There's no proof anywhere to debunk anything. It's all from memories. Anyway, it kind of just threw me off a little bit right there, noticing, people like me actually spend nights on this trying to figure out, if it's an illusion, is it a computer simulation, is shit, we really jumping timelines? I mean, CERN, D-wave computers, quantum physics. Anyway, it would be like a blow to people like me. I mean, it's always good to have people, that don't agree with you on everything. You can't have everybody agree. I mean, not everybody perceives life in the same manner. And we'll see. Only time will tell. And yeah, it's a scary fucking thing. It's definitely a scary fucking thing. Anything that changes in your life that you see gets fucking scary.
I don't know what I would have done, guys. Anyway, I've just been like sitting here in my room for like hours after just like so down, you just don't even want to move. You just want to like go to sleep and just to escape your feelings, I tend to feel this way like after any experience I have with my family now, unfortunately. And I hate feeling this way. I don't want to feel this way whenever I hang out with my family, but because I love them, but um, I just get like after I leave from being with them, like I just get this overwhelming feeling of heaviness and just like a weight. It feels like a weight is on my soul, and I just can't. I just sometimes like I'll come home from like being with hanging out with a family member or whatever who doesn't know, who doesn't have any idea what I'm talking about when I talk about the Mandela effect. They just think I'm a conspiracy nut, and I think that's what they think now. And so whenever I get home, like whenever I'm finished hanging out with a family member now, I just like sometimes I'll actually just like start crying, and it's like it's really tough. I don't mean to make this an emotional video, but it's going to be. And really, the best way that I can sort of like start feeling better is just by like expressing, just getting it out, like what it's like to go through this, because we're all going through this. If we can see these changes, and by now, I know more people are waking up every day to stuff like the Mandela effect. I hate it. I hate what it's done to the relationships I have with my family who don't see the changes. Now, no one in my immediate life sees the changes except like two people who I'm lucky enough to be able to talk to about it somewhat. But no one in my family sees the changes. I've tried multiple times to tell them now about it, like extremely in an extremely like basic way, and just communicate the basics to them, and they just still they don't get it. And so it having been like a year and a half since having to deal with all this, and just to deal with still just like a rock solid wall of like indifference from people you care about, especially family members, and then to be seen as your precious ego gets torn to like ribbons, like when people close to you whose opinions you hold in high regard, when they start to see you, when they start to write things off that you're saying as just like psychobabble, that is like, I mean, it really does terrible things to you inside. And, of course, your ego gets like trampled upon and ripped to, like torn to ribbons, but also it's just like at your core you always want understanding and like affection, and you want that of your family members, of your closest family members. You want them to have like a basic amount of respect for you, and to not write off things you're saying because they think you're crazy. I never thought I would ever find myself in that situation. Me personally, I was always like a black sheep kind of person, but like it's never like anybody thought I was crazy or like spouting out crazy things. I would always have like little tidbits and facts for people that would be enlightening. Like I always want to help people learn. I always want to learn. I always want to learn from other people. But to be trying to share things with people and educate people, and for them to go into this mode where it's like everything I say they put into the spam filter now, like because they just have me in this box, or they think I'm a conspiracy theorist now. It's like I don't want all my words to go into your personal spam folder in your brain. Like don't send everything I'm saying to your spam folder. Please don't do that. But I can't just say that. I can't just legitimize myself if I've already delegitimized myself in their eyes. Nobody wants to not be heard. You know what I mean? Nobody wants to have things that they think are important things be completely disregarded before they can even really get out their thoughts. And that's what it seems like ever since I've been talking about the Mandela effect. It seems like now people close to me are used to just completely writing anything I say off. And so when you're around people like that, and a lot of people in the truth movement will have to, hear them talk about like just dumbing themselves down, or like dumbing down the topics of conversations. So they're just about hair and nails and boys and whatever, like whatever is just normal. Malls. I don't know like what people talk about really. That I don't know. So a lot of what I have to do when I'm with family, or whatever, people that I care about, that have no concept of the things I try to talk about, like truth related or Mandela related, I find myself having to just be this person, like just a shadow of myself, and just really, I find that I just say things that I think they want to hear. Just like, oh yeah, that is cool, or like, yeah, 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 I heard about that TV show. Yeah, I'm sure it's cool. Like, I heard about this, or I heard about that. Yeah, it's funny, blah blah blah. It's like, I feel like this paper person, this like masquerade of myself, because I can't talk about anything that I really want to talk about. I'm sure a lot of you will be able to relate to that. But yeah, it just feels like I have to be like so surface level, when I'm around certain people, or like just paper thin. And it's like, I can't exist like that with people I care about. I have to be able to express myself. And if people have made it clear that they like don't want to listen, or they can't listen. I know we're all brainwashed. We've all been brainwashed since birth to think certain things, and to not speak against certain things. So I understand, but sometimes it's just nice to, I don't know, like be able to vent a little bit, because I know a lot of you guys are probably going through the same thing. It's like the Mandela effect alone, not to mention everything on top of it that's related to it, but the Mandela effect alone just wreaks so much havoc in your life. I mean, it's like it will just destroy your relationships with people, or at least drastically change your relationships with people. But I just really, it's tough to be so like now, like instead of being lifted up when I'm around family and friends you don't see, it's like I'm just so totally drained when I'm with those people now. It's like you know, I still love them so much, but it's like if I can't speak about like anything I care about anymore, or else I'm just gonna be thought of as crazy, then like I just give up. So really, like it's draining to just be like a totally like monochromatic version of yourself, just a shadow of yourself, really, and just going along with conversation that you like never really care about. It's like you really have to dumb yourself down around people, or and they can be really intelligent people, but intelligence sometimes doesn't even play a factor in whether somebody can see some of these things or not. I mean, sometimes people will have educated themselves and you know, at the same time indoctrinated themselves so much more intensely because they're more educated. So they'll be married to the system even more intensely. So it's like when you think a really intelligent person will be able to see these things that you see, it's like you realize intelligence has nothing to do with it sometimes, whether somebody can like wake up or not. Intelligence doesn't sometimes even play a factor. It's like either you'll be able to wake up one day and see that the world around us is just, we've just been lied to about it so blatantly for so many years, or you won't ever wake up. It won't be possible for you to wake up because you're too biased, and maybe you don't even know it. You become too indoctrinated into the matrix. But it really does seem that way. Like, so it's unfortunate, and it's like the hope, it can feel hopeless when you interact with these people and you keep dropping hints about things, you keep trying to bring this to people in subtle ways, and you keep trying to sneak stuff, about the Mandela effect into conversation and like catch them, and like prove that the world is changing, and like throw them little tidbits and crumbs and stuff, and when they still don't get it, it could just feel totally helpless. So it's like the more and more you try, it's like the more you exist in this state of learned helplessness almost. So I can find in myself, I'm just starting to like completely like shut down and go into this mode where I'm just like, oh yeah, that's great. Oh yeah, that's funny. Yeah, that's wonderful. Just like totally, like I'm just a shadow of myself, and I hate that because like I want to be able to have I don't know, like a really rich, fulfilling relationship still with these people. But how can you if you're basically feeling like, I don't really think this way, but like you're basically feeling like you're from a different universe and all your memories are different. Like, how can you connect with someone in the same way when they don't have a basic understanding of what you're going through? When you wake up to the Mandela effect, it's like I'm over in this completely different world and you won't even acknowledge it. And I have to just go along with your normal world where nothing happened to you, but you won't acknowledge that something happened to me, and you just laugh at me like I'm going through torture here. Like trying to exist in this world. All of us are, it's like a weird type of psychological torture. It really is. Trying to exist in a world where nobody agrees that anything has changed when it's so blatantly obvious that everything has changed to the Mandela effect. So it's like we're existing in this weird game now of like, are we going to be able to prove ourselves to these people? When are they going to come around? Are they ever going to come around? Are things ever going to be normal again? Are things going to change even more drastically the next day? Like, I just, like, are we going to have, like, what kind of different body part are we going to have tomorrow? Like, it's like that crazy, but you can't communicate that to anyone you care about. So, it can really start to feel like learned helplessness, like you just don't want to try anymore. You just like give up almost on certain people, and then the relationship just becomes like a going through the motions type of thing, and you can't find happiness and interacting and having and interacting in the same ways, or doing the same things. There's no happiness to be found anymore in the same in the same interactions you used to have if you can't even be seen. If what you're going through as a person can't even be acknowledged and seen, and it's really important to you, then it just feels like you may as well not even be there in the conversation anymore. If I'm not allowed to speak about anything that's important to me, I may as well not even like be around. And I don't mean to like be melodramatic or whatever, because there's no really, like, we're all brainwashed. Even we've grown up in a satanic system. Everyone's been brainwashed to a degree. Some of us are breaking out of it faster than others, and some of us are unfortunately so brainwashed that they'll never be able to break out of it. And we should have sympathy for these people, because like I said in a video a while back, it could have been us too. We don't know why we can see and the others can't. But anyway, I just wanted to post this because I was feeling so so bad tonight. I'm literally under my desk right now because this feels like the best place to be, like to match how I'm feeling. I'm just feeling so low and like depressed and sad, and I was just gonna go to sleep, but I was like, you know what? I bet other people are feeling this exact same way, and like it's it's been a year and a half for some people. It's been 2 months for some people. It's been 2 years. It's been 10 years for some people. Some people have been experiencing, you know, the Mandela effect before it was even coined the Mandela effect for like 10 years now. So, and some people just woke up to it yesterday. So we're all going through these really new, crazy feelings and emotions, and um, it can just be really hard, guys. We're not freaks of nature if we're experiencing the Mandela effect. We're just not. The program didn't work on us for some reason, so we're resilient, and that's amazing. And also, I mean, it's like when I get too messed up or upset, like I know God has our backs, guys. Like, it is so good to know that, like, this is nothing that God didn't know about. This is nothing that God doesn't know that is happening to us right now. He knows all of the struggles we're going through right now, and I know He knows it. And it's like every time I pray, I just feel this super calm feeling of love, and just sometimes it's so much I start like having tears well up and stuff, and it's just like like God's telling us He's here, He's with us always.